No.
Those kids won't wait. No, she ain't gonna wait.
Ain't gonna do it, huh?
Look, y'all seeing this? I don't know if y'all seeing this. Let's see. Those kids ain't got no patience. We invite company out here. I can't even get the intro going. She ain't got no patience.
Healthy fish.
Look.
You want them back, Mr. Bill?
Hey, unless you want to keep them and clean them and eat them. Not, we're going to... All right. Be back in just 1 minute.
Oh yeah, when it's
Hello everyone and welcome back to Wild Bill's Fishing Reels. We're out here today doing a little pond episode of Fish Tales. This is Fish Tales episode 2, let me be clear. And we got a special guest here today, Mr. Nick Dunham.
How you doing?
He's going to tell us a little bit about himself, and I look very forward to it. I'm super excited. I can't tell y'all, I already know some of this stuff. I had the pleasure of learning a little bit about him before we got on here. But today we're going to do some pond fishing just because I know everybody probably want to know where the traps is at. Well, they're below sea level somewhere. I can't even find a boat ramp to launch. We put that in a community post just so everybody be able to go check it out. If you live around that way, that's Hallbrook Park. Good luck trying to launch right now. It's supposed to be about Tuesday. So maybe Nick be able to come out there with me Tuesday, and then we can go get them traps and see what they look like and bait them back up. And we may do like a part 2 on it or something like that. If everybody likes it, let me know, you know. Y'all holler at us and tell us what you want to see, what you want to hear about. Any questions I don't ask, you can ask them, and we can get with Mr. Nick, and he'll, I'm sure, they'll gladly answer them for y'all. But
For sure.
yes, sir. Well, we're gonna get this thing started. As y'all see, I went ahead and filmed. Doge kid couldn't wait. She's impatient as all get out. Yeah, she went out here and went on snatch the first one so she could say she caught the first one. And she gonna want to catch the most, I'm sure, too. So y'all watch out for her. But yeah, Mr. Nick, we're gonna bring it back to the beginning.
For sure.
Let's see, where was you born at?
I was born in Central Alabama, a place called Sylacauga. Good luck spelling that if you ain't from that area. Sylacauga, Alabama, back in 1980. I pretty much born and raised there, right in that's the city next to us. I'm from Coosa County, a little spot called Rockford. To this day, there ain't a whole lot over there except for my family. Coosa County is full of great people, specifically. I would say that it's probably one of the best kept secrets is Central Alabama. You know, there's a lot of things said about that region of the area of the world that it's not necessarily true, but it's a good spot, good people. The Dunham family. I'm a Dunham, and yeah, that's where I'm from.
Yes, sir. All right, well, hey, let's get the bait and let's get the talking a little more. Let's those kids. Let's get them a shiner.
Oh wait.
Come on.
Come in.
All right. So let's see. Next question.
Yes, sir.
When you were in high school, were you more athletic driven or were you sports driven or
So
did you have other type of hobbies? What
yeah,
was your hobby?
I definitely had different hobbies. It started off as well, my father got sick when I was pretty young. I would say 13-ish. He got sick, got pretty ill, and long story short, he wound up passing away when I was 17. But it was a long battle for him, you know. So that turned into, you know, there's 2 ways you deal with like terrible things in your life, right? A good way or a bad way. And I pretty much overall dealt with it the wrong way. You see what I'm saying? So,
Yes, sir.
So my hobbies were just trying not to get locked up. I didn't do the right thing for a long time. I wasn't a bad person, but I just didn't make good decisions often. But yeah, that's pretty much my interests were. Yeah, I still love to hunt. I still love to fish. Back then, even when I was a little lost, is what they'll call it. So, that was my answer.
Okay. So after school, You graduate, you go straight into the workforce, or you go to college, or
So now I started a community college in Central Alabama. Community college, well, it's called CAC. I was in a nursing program. I was part of. I was very, very close to the end, and I got in a little situation, I would say, and wound up not finishing right there at the end. Um, and then I just started working from a guy, Mr. Jack Walker, who's passed not too long ago. Excellent, excellent man. He hired me, you know.
Really?
So did a little bit of that. I worked for the VA. I worked through the nursing field, CNA for a long time. And that's fast forward to 2001 because I graduated in '98 by the grace of God alone. And yeah, and then I wound up in 2001. I wound up getting to that point in my life where I seen a poster, and it was Coast Guard boat going over a wave.
come on.
And I was like, what is that? And the guy that was there, he's like, oh, that's the Coast Guard. You never heard of that? And I was like, no. Here I am 20-something years later. I'm done. I've retired from that.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's how I found out what it all was.
Yes, sir. So y'all didn't hear that? Retired Coast Guard. And y'all that I got, like, you hear a lot of people say, like, you know, why are our troops overseas doing everything? Why are they, you know, fighting wars for other people? Well, a lot of people don't realize the Coast Guard is right here for us, you know, and nobody really pays that mind, you know. So y'all pay some attention to your Coast Guard. Because your Coast Guard are the ones that if you're out there and you're in a bind on the water, they're gonna dive on in there and get you out of there. You know. On top of that, immigration? They work on immigration. They work on people trying to bring fentanyl into our country, stopping that. What navigation? Y'all maintain navigation?
Yeah, pretty much over. I really didn't know anything about the Coast Guard being I was from the middle of nowhere. So, you know, when I got my first duty station, I'd be like, when I called home, I talked to a few people, and one of the first things like, oh, y'all got them over there? And they was talking about interstates. You know what I'm talking about? Country.
Oh, yeah.
So, no, so I didn't know a whole lot about it, but I can tell you that when I seen that poster and it was like boat, it was the 47, the iconic silver boat, gray boat going over the wave, motor life boat. I was like, I want to do that. And I was smart. I didn't apply myself, but I was smart. So I took the ASVAB. I qualified for all the jobs that the Coast Guard offered, specifically at that time. It's all changed a little bit now, but it's all the same thing. So, but overall, I didn't know, but it's responsible for many areas: AIDS navigation, law enforcement, search and rescue. Those things are the big ones when I joined. And then we September 11th, right? So then that's when Homeland Security took the same it took the same stance as search and rescue. It was that important to America. So,
yes, sir.
And then that changed everything, obviously.
Yes, sir. I'm glad you brought that up because, see, I didn't even think about that, about how 9/11 affected the men and women of the Coast Guard. You know, that never even dawned on me until you just mentioned that. And I tried to do a little research, you know, knowing that we got Mr. Nick coming here. You know, I said I need to halfway understand what we're going to talk about, you know. And whenever, I don't know if y'all know their motto. I don't want to say the Latin, but
Semper Paratus.
Semper Paratus. I didn't want to mess it up because I know it's disrespectful if you don't say it right. So it means always ready. And one thing I know about Nick is he is always ready, guys.
Come on.
I'm telling you, hey, I enjoy the heck out of him from the moment we talked to now. Like, I am tickled. I hated y'all ain't here to enjoy him too. You know?
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
But yeah, let's talk a little more. The Coast Guard. So So you get into the Coast Guard and you start out as bottom of the
Yes.
bottom of the
So
rank.
in 2001, so I had signed up. I'd done all my entry work and such, and 9/11 happened. Actually, I want to say the week. It gets blurry, but I want to say the week that I was supposed to ship. So my entry was they shut down all the flights, obviously, and all that because Wildwood, New Jersey is very close to ground zero for a lot of those things. So um, I wound up actually getting into boot camp in October. So from there, it was 8 weeks then. I believe they may have extended it one week, but it was hell. It was not a good time to go through boot camp, which it should not be. I needed corrected. You know, it was a me thing. You know, and that's what makes the Coast Guard, all the services, so good. Is, they actually correct that problem. Like you're not the boss. We're the boss. You work up to boss. And so, you see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So either way, yeah, I come out as an E2 and I got stationed in Portsmouth, Virginia on a 270-foot cutter, Coast Guard cutter forward. And that's where I struck my rate, my job, was bosun mate. They don't allow that. They actually stopped allowing it before I transferred. But it was pretty much an on-the-job training for bosun mate. And I caught a bunch of stuff because bosun mates are the dummies or whatever. But it was not an as bad issue. You know what I mean? Which a lot of people, you know, it's just jabbing. But at the end of the day, it was just something I wanted to do. And so I struck and became a bosun mate. It's 04, I would say 2003. Yeah, 2003. And then I learned how to drive a little small boat they had on there, and you learn how to do your basic painting and all that kind of stuff. But that was my intro to having a job in the Coast Guard. And we had some really cool rescues, some good drug busts. You can look it up. I was there from 01 to 04. Had a great tour, great people. And, other than that, I did my time there, and then I got stationed north, just north on the Chesapeake Bay, a little place called Cape Charles, of all places, Cape Charles, Virginia. It's on the eastern shore, and that was my first, what you call a small boat station. So that's the ones that have your 41 footers. At that time, it was 41s and 21s, and then we eventually got to 25. I did 4 years there, and that's where for bosun mate, getting that first standard letter, that's really what the purpose of being a bosun mate is. I want to drive the good boats, the cool boats.
You're right. Yeah.
Small ones.
Yeah.
And go learn how to do those things. So I had excellent people around me. They taught me so much, and I tried to return that favor. I had great bosses. I was probably a great boss to some people. I was probably a bad boss to some people. I had bad bosses as well. You know, that's just life, right? Everybody wants to talk about the bad stuff, but I will focus on that. It was good. It was really good. And that's where I really got my teeth into driving and understanding navigation.
We got a little sight fishing about to happen.
I don't know, guys.
I hit the wall. I hit the water.
Ran
Ran them off.
I wouldn't even. We got the capper, and I wouldn't even.
Oh, there come. Might have to put you on this worm method, which I like the worm no hook.
Okay, it's really not.
This style of fishing, I've
Don't
caught
swat
more
at
fish than
It's more
any
like
other
this.
style of fishing
Swat at
I've
it.
done.
That's what we think.
Freshwater.
Did you put? I put bug spray on you.
But so you get in the driving boat.
Yep.
I
So
don't
that
even
was
think I sprayed any of those
I had
even
my first taste. They're called non-standard boats, which just means that you're the way you go about getting certified, qualified,
to get
is
nervous in that.
slightly
So I
different.
feel like the more nervous you act, I feel like the more they're strong.
So when I get to
They'll be
Cape
like,
Charles,
"Yeah, whatever."
I did a tour there. That was 2004 to 2008.
It's what you mean.
That's when I
It's
really
a bug
learned,
on
like
there.
I was saying earlier, it's like
I bet
the
there is.
they had
It's
the
on
41
quarter,
footers
yeah.
are just a beast.
Yeah.
Slow,
These usually.
heavy,
I have
but-
much more problem with waffles.
but that's the
Yeah,
platform to
I
learn how to
think
drive a boat. It handles just like a cabin. So,
Waffles,
and that's when we,
the
you know, you
opposite.
get your first, you get
They
to
will
know on
get you.
some real life
They will.
stuff, right?
They will.
By yourself.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it truly is easy. And I don't want to be offensive, but it's easy to be brave when there's 100 people on a ship, right? And go into these situations that are
freak
rough.
me out too. Like I'll find them.
You really find out a lot
Not here. It's just
when
like
it's you, the nervous little kid that just got certified,
Yeah.
and then another
I had
nervous
one.
kid
I
that
remember
just nervous anyway. So, when it's only
we
three
were
of
in
you out there, and you ain't
Arkansas,
really got
people
we have
they were
support. Don't get me wrong.
insane, and it was
That's where you
before they
kinda
made
earn
the
your-
sleep pills,
Your graze, I
or
would
maybe
say.
they had just started making them, and I hadn't even heard
So
of them.
in those predicaments,
So, I mean,
did
we
you
were
perform
talking
any
to
search
this
and
girl
rescue?
called
Did you
Tina.
tell us about
But anyways,
a
she would
unique
go
story?
outside
Let's
and
say.
Yeah.
come in and bring them in.
Even
and
as
I
a
went to go
crewman, my
take a
first,
shower
I
in
want
the
to say my
back seat,
first,
and I had one like
um,
right out of my reach, like in between my shoulder blades.
search and rescue
Oh,
unit,
and like I couldn't get to
call
it.
as a
Yep.
boat crewman. I
And
was
I
not
had to
even
wait for
coxswain
him
yet,
to
which
get
is the boat
home
driver, right?
because like I'm like I don't.
Was there,
These are
unfortunately,
strangers, like
Pepsi
well, in an
truck,
RV park. I'm not gonna be like,
a
hey,
Pepsi
like
truck
here, let me lift
had
up my shirt. You
driven
come
off
get his kick off
the
of me.
Chesapeake Bay Bridge
That's not
tunnel.
an
And
acquaintance.
that was my very
John.
first um,
Yeah.
experience as a certified person. Like the thing, like when you're not
She
certified,
brought
there's
him
people
in
that are
all the time,
certified
and
that
I
are
think
around
I
you,
ended up
helping you
asking about
not
it.
mess up, right?
Like I was talking to
The
a
best they
vet.
can.
She's like,
And then it
"Ooh,
turned
these
into,
pills now."
once you're the certified person,
No,
now
I
your
didn't, but
skin's
give
on the
them to
line,
me.
right? Now it's time to
And we've
pay
had
price.
all of our, even our
So,
outside
just
dogs,
as a, and I was like, oh
an
wow,
expensive
this is
deal
interesting. It was a
because
very tragic
they're allowed to
case,
come in that
but
mud
very
room
interesting.
and what
And
she
then
does
I would
is from
say
winter
my
heat.
first, I'll just go to
But
my
yeah,
first, my
he
first
loves the
search
cold.
and
The
rescue
second it
case
starts to
as
warm up, though,
certified
he's coming in
coxswain,
and he don't care what you have to say about it. He
standard
will
coxswain,
bulldoze you
41
over.
was
And for whatever
it was
reason, I need to get the AC set up in there.
a person that did not
when
want
they added on
to be on Earth
that
anymore.
mudroom was
Stopped
an
on the
addition to
Chesapeake.
the
There was a
house, and
report,
you
so you
never
get
tied
reports
in
of people
the
on
AC to it.
a car with
So
a
there's
door
no air
open
vents
on a
in
bridge.
there. So I usually put
You know,
that portable AC.
You can call it, you
Woo!
can call it what it is,
That way
but
he can come in there and
those
cool
types of
off.
searches, and it's
And it
rough.
also
Chesapeake
makes
Bay can get rough,
that living room heat up
but it is
faster. Just
definitely
having something right
an
there that's not
eye
air
experience.
conditioning.
Woo!
You always want to.
Yeah.
We all let them. Oh, wait.
Oh.
Well,
You want holding your mouth right, man.
we almost had a double up,
Look at
guys.
that pretty one.
Look at it. Let's look at what Mr. Nicholas has got. Let's bring it up here so they can see it. Woo!
Goodness gracious.
That'd be all right. Hey,
Bloopers time. Bloopers.
real
He's
life bloopers. We not editing none of these.
That is pretty.
That thing is beautiful. That probably come out the Calcasieu,
Yes, sir.
because there's a many fishing trips where we went and caught them and dropped them right in there.
So we're gonna put him back so he keeps on going.
Come on. Keep going, keep growing.
And just say it over.
I just found out.
I didn't know Mr. Nick was going to pull that out, did it? Come on. Middle of telling a great story. That'll throw off a story a little bit. Let's let him get his wheels back.
Oh man, I mean, it happened, so I don't have to remember much.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my first search and rescue case as a certified standard boat coxswain. So those are tragic, right?
Yeah.
And they usually go, because that one's in the winter.
But we have it too. Like,
So in
I
that
went to
situation,
Olympic
generally
Town,
speaking, the
but,
results
it
aren't
looks
great.
like
So
it's had a wobble, but it's
didn't end the way you want it to. But then there's a lot of cases that are.
yeah,
They end just
that's
like you
actually
hope.
what it is.
Yeah.
It's Indian,
Like,
Like
truly rescuing people that want to be rescued type stories.
Correct.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And then,
Yes, sir.
then
But,
there's the
hey,
next
look.
town up.
Guys, I asked him to give us the good, the bad, the ugly. I want it all. I don't want to hold nothing back. So
Yeah.
we're gonna get it all from
Oh.
Mr. Nick. He's not gonna sugarcoat it for us.
Yeah.
These videos are made for grown folks.
The University of
So,
South
you know.
Alabama.
But yes, but there's those, and then you get those calls, you know,
Yeah, my
very
whole
common,
one
taking on
semester.
waters,
Mhm.
especially the first, as soon as it starts getting warm again, for you know, like
Mhm.
not professional mariners, you know, so they go when it's warm, take the kids. You get a lot of
You know,
taking
you
on
have to do it
waters,
for
and it's
some
usually
jobs.
something very simple. Sometimes it is not. You know, got
Like
a
if you wanna go
plug,
get
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the bay can be a beast, Chesapeake Bay, for sure.
You just want to
But,
work at like a hotel.
you're able- I
No.
should have probably glanced over some of the
Manager,
actual stuff if you wanted to know specifics, like the number of, you know, assists and saves. But it was several, and it was not just the coxswain. It was the engineers keep the boat
And I
going,
hate
the
that they
crewmen
push
that keep
back
it
kids
clean,
back
you know,
to
stuff like
do
that.
it. That's
Like,
great.
helping you look
There's
out
something,
and
I don't know, too,
keeping you awake when you're
about
tired.
going-
Right.
if you do
Right.
what you
So,
want to do.
But yeah,
Basically,
and then from there, you know, that was an
Yeah.
awesome, awesome
Second,
tour.
third, fourth,
Met some of the best
you're
people.
gonna end up doing
And to this day, we keep in touch on occasion.
Where did you
Um,
go?
I'm trying to think. I went to and I got stationed at the small boat station in Dawson Island, Alabama. So that was
Wow.
3 miles from where I'm from.
Come on, and that's not far from where I'm from.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome, awesome area. You know, it don't get the grace or it don't get
Your daddy's the one.
the pretty photos sometimes, like, you know, Orange Beach. They got the pretty white water, but the Mobile River and all that stuff keep it pretty muddy. But still an excellent, excellent tour. Running 41, 45, you know, 25. And man, we had some good, you know, some really, really, look, here you go. The good looking girl. She'll cry. But, yeah, that's where I was from 08 to 12. And then, and again, so lots and lots I was able to help a lot of people, save a lot of people. A lot of people weren't able to. There was definitely, an outstanding crew there most of the time, you know. But that's about the time where things like kind of just started, you know, a little different. You know, new generations are coming up, and now at this point, you're the 28 to 30-year-old, right?
Right.
And then now you got these 18, which is not. I mean, it's this natural cycle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you know, you just very much adapt. But it was a huge place for growth for me, as far as like how to deal with certain things.
Yes, sir.
And then from there, had a desk job, started getting some
He's eventually
uh,
bring her into
sore back, and we started having a conversation. Because me and Heather, my wife, didn't want to separate, yeah, because it was getting there where if I want to advance my career very much more, I'm going to have to start being not stationed on my wife, who is also she was active duty as well. So it definitely makes it difficult, but not undoable, right? Sometimes you just make a choice. Am I going to use this time to advance my career? And there's not a wrong answer, but am I going to use this time to advance my relationships with my family? Those kind of questions. So at that time, I needed to advance relationships. Is the easiest way I'll say it, with family. And I took a job that was pretty much riding the desk, you know, doing the desk stuff, which is fine. It's very important to do. But at that time, that's what I was. Like we were out in, I was actually stationed in Alameda, California. And yeah, we were there. That was another great tour. I got to, you know, coach baseball, coach my kids in baseball. You know, they're at that age now, right?
Right.
When you're underway a lot, you don't necessarily get to do that. But I tried my best to manage those moments in my career and my family. But you know, I've had a lot of really good people, a lot older than me, tell me that your family will be there. Got Slim Brim over here. Your family will be there when that DD 214 is signed. If you're see you later papers, right? Right. And man, I'm glad I listened.
Yeah.
I really am. But yeah, that was a very good time. Met some of my best friends to this day are from there. They weren't coasting, but you know, police officers and stuff through the San Francisco Police Department. Just so many different people. I don't want to miss none.
We rolling.
Yep.
We back rolling.
So yeah, that's where that was. But so yeah, when I was in California, that was really a desk job. I did get to. I got asked by, let's say the 11 at the time, the 11 Master Ace to go help one of the 87 with a crew issue. They had someone that was not having a good time at home and whatnot. So I went over there. I was able to ride on the south side for a while out of Bodega Bay. And so I was about my only real West Coast, like underway type stuff. And man, those waves get big, but they're not quite as, like I'd rather have a 10-footer
It was, they knew exactly what it was. They knew it. And
in the Pacific than
So now-
a 5-footer in the Gulf. I promise you that. Same boat. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But either way, man, again, a great great, place.
Calm down.
Uh,
Because
most
it's
people
me,
hear about the
I'll
bad
be like,
stuff.
"No, we're done. But as long
It's
as
a good
that
place,
is-
man. There's a lot of good people there. A lot of not so good people too. So I met a lot of really great
This is the one that they moved to school.
Yeah.
So I try to go.
officers in that area because I was enlisted. I'm not sure if you understand, like, really, or know much about the difference,
You know,
like the officer
Listen.
enlisted. Enlisted, it's the joke. We're the ones that do all the work. But obviously,
and
it's
it's probably
not.
true. There's probably a little bit of truth to it.
A little bit. But you can, you know, a lot of stuff happens with really good. You got a really good officer corps over there. You know, I was lucky enough to work for Mr. Schultz. He wound up becoming the commandant. He read my stuff for making DM1 and all that kind of stuff. Well, petty officer first class. So it's really cool. And then from there, we went ahead and
It might be Nick.
decided we were going
I
to
don't know. I tell you midget.
55.
Woo! Come on.
And then
But she is amazing.
we wound up getting, it was that we had to sit down. The kids are getting older at this point, right? So it's 2012.
But she doesn't
It's time to
have anything down
transfer.
her throat.
And
She lets you make the decision, and then
like,
she
all right,
guides
so we
you
have a
in the
conversation.
decision.
Like,
They
where
go.
y'all want to go?
And
So we all decided that we're
they
going to
go.
go back to
I ended up with her.
try to get to the
because
south. So that's how we wound up here.
Chloe,
So,
she was in kindergarten, and she fainted, fell out in the middle of
We-
the and
from there, I
like,
was
don't leave
stationed
her
on the
alone.
87-footer out of
And
Sabine.
then, urgent repairs.
Out of Sabine, past
So I made
Texas.
her
My wife was in Lake Charles, so we decided, because during all this time, having two active duty people is very difficult. So she took the brunt of, help the kid.
And I ended
you know.
up calling
A lot of times I was
pediatricians
gone.
everywhere,
Um,
and everybody was.
But
"Oh,
either
you
way,
can get you in
she
next
was-
week."
we were lucky enough to get transferred
and I
again
told her, and she
with a
was
little
like,
manipulation
"You
and
can't today." And she
probably
was like,
complaining.
"We will make it work. I
Right.
will figure something out."
Yep, that was a
"I can bring
2-year
this
tour
out
there.
right
That was
now,
the
and
Pompano
I'm
then.
going to see her today."
And I forgot I was
And
leaving
she's
in
up into
time,
it,
but it
and
was
sure enough, and I did.
excellent
And-
tour. Met some good people again.
And she's like, "Look," she's like, "I'm gonna go ahead."
And
And she was
that
like, "We may
was
never figure out
2018,
exactly what it
when I
was."
left.
She said it might just
I
be
left
some weird
Texas,
sugar
well,
drop. And she
I
said
never
that
left the
I will
house.
test
You know, I just started
everything
driving
that we
east
could
instead
be
of
worried
west.
about.
Right. So
And
my
that's
last
what she
unit
did, and
was
she
Station
did
Cape Charles.
So much stuff. and we
Lake
never did,
Charles.
but like
I,
you
I,
said, we never
I
did
said it all the
find
time
out.
then, I
Tired
still
of it.
say
Probably
it.
just a weird
I
reaction to
started
blood
station at Cape Charles,
units
and I
that
ended
have
at Lake Charles. And I was like,
been
must be meant to be.
tested
You're
for
right.
diabetes
So,
and-
yeah. And that's what we did. Did a lot of
Okay. Well,
very cool stuff. You know what I mean? Like really cool. Like, so I just had no clue what I was getting into when I joined the Coast Guard. I really didn't.
Right,
yes,
right.
it is.
And
It's not
that was
supposed
easily
to.
the best thing I ever did. Like, I love it. I did love it. I'm glad I'm gone. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no
it's a
retirement.
new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with retirement.
Yeah.
Probably did.
So, but yeah, that's a
No, we're trying to-
very brief,
we were
easy
making some
overview, if
progress
I
in
if
pulling
I'll
her
call
off
it that,
them until
of my
they showed
stations
up,
and.
all they want
you
to
know.
do is also get.
But yeah,
Like,
you got.
okay.
I'll try to remember the best I can. If you got any like, you know, if you want to know anything specific, or you think your viewers might want to know something.
Well, I want them to ask some questions for part 2.
Okay.
So,
I am
open book. I got some questions in my mind, but I'm gonna save them for part 2. And I expect each and every one of y'all, if y'all have any questions,
Yeah, 100.
to get down in the comments, cause me and Nick gotta go get in them traps too. So
Yeah.
we gotta leave a little meat on the bone.
Above 150.
Y'all hang tight with us. But I mean, we started late today. You know, they had to go to church, and you know, we got out here about 1 o'clock, a little after 1, say, and it's hot, and we still managed to catch a couple. So
Right.
that's not
right.
bad. I mean, I'm glad that we got to put a couple on the dry land from the wet.
Absolutely. I love it.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate you so much, man. Like when you popped up on my feed, and I told Mr. Bill this, Wild Bill, we'll call him. I was like, man, my YouTube feed is so interesting, like the stuff that just shows up. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. and I'm really bad about not necessarily reading the headlines or what the title is because it's usually clickbait. I know that spot. I was like, dude, that's the Calcasieu. And then I go to find him, and then it's just such a genuine guy. I mean, this is not through camera. And I'll be the first to say it. You're just genuine. You are who you say you are. And I appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr.
Very, very few people are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And look, I'm honored to have you here with us. And y'all, I'm gonna give you a little background. He gave me a coin that about melted me, about got a little tear out of old Wild. You know, these things mean a lot because him and his background in the Coast Guard brings back memories of my wife's father. You know, my wife's father, you know, me and him were very close up to the day he passed away. So we're going to give him some honor. And if she wants, I may put up a little picture of him at the end right here, you know, somewhere up here in the video.
Yeah.
And, you know, show him some love too. And we might can get a couple of cool pictures.
I might can find one or two for TV.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. We're going to keep it friendly like we always do. And, guys, if you can't think of nothing to do,
Go fishing.
Go fish. Let's go. I love that.